lateral surface of the medial condyle forms the medial boundary of the intercondylar fossa, and medial surface of the lateral condyle forms the lateral boundary of the intercondylar fossa. This intercondylar fossa, here there are two important attachments of the cruciate ligament. Anterior cruciate ligament. This cruciate ligament has been named after its attachment to the intercondylar area of the tibia. The cruciate ligament which lies at the anterior part of the intercondylar area, that is called anterior cruciate ligament. That anterior cruciate ligament is attached to the posterior end of the medial surface of the lateral condyle, and posterior cruciate ligament is attached to the anterior end of the lateral surface of the medial condyle. Now the condyle, now come to the medial condyle. Medial condyle, its anterior surface is partly articular surface of the patella, and its inferior articular surface. This inferior articular surface articulates with the tibia at the time of extension of the knee joint, and posterior articular part of the condyle, articular part of the condyle articulates with the tibia at the time of flexion of the knee joint. Now similarly the lateral condyle also, its anterior part is partly formed by the articular surface or patellar articular surface. This is the inferior articular surface. This inferior articular surface come in contact with the tibial articular surface at the time of extension of the knee joint, and posterior articular surface come in contact with the tibial articular surface, superior surface of the tibia at the time of flexion. Now come to the upper end. Here I have already told you, upper end has got extra surface, that is fourth surface, which is limited by medially by the spiral line and laterally by the gluteal tuberosity. Now here there are some muscular attachments which is from medial to lateral are. Now this upper fourth surface, here the muscle attachment from medial to lateral, this is called iliacus. Then we shall get the adductor brevis, then we will get pectineus, and after that we will get at the upper part, that is adductor brevis. This is called adductor brevis, this is called pectineus, then adductor brevis, and then we will get adductor magnus. Adductor magnus lies at the medial margin of the gluteal tuberosity. So again, from medial to lateral, iliacus, pectineus, adductor brevis, and adductor magnus. The adductor magnus lies at the medial margin of the gluteal tuberosity, and at the lateral margin of gluteal tuberosity we will get vastus lateralis, and in between two we will get the insertion of the gluteus maximus, the deep and lower fiber of the gluteus maximus. Now come to the linea aspera. Linea aspera, here the following muscles is attached from medial to lateral. Medial leaf gives attachment to vastus medialis, then medial intermuscular septum. After that we will get adductor brevis above and adductor longus below, and lateral to that we will get the adductor magnus. Adductor magnus lies in the intervening area between the two leaves. It extends up to the adductor tubercle. Now come to the posterior intermuscular septum. Then next to posterior intermuscular septum we will get short head of the biceps, and then lateral to that we will get posterior intermuscular septum, and then we will get the vastus lateralis. So again I am repeating the attachments at the linea aspera from medial to lateral. Medial leaf, here we will get the attachment of the vastus medialis. This vastus medialis, if we trace above, it will pass along the spiral line up to the lower margin of the intertrochanteric line. Then the medial intermuscular septum. After medial intermuscular septum we will get adductor brevis above, adductor longus below, and lateral to that we will get adductor magnus. That adductor magnus extends from the medial margin of the gluteal tuberosity up to the adductor tubercle. Then we will get posterior intermuscular septum. After that we will get the short head of the biceps, and lateral to the short head of the biceps we will get the lateral intermuscular septum, and lateral to that we will get vastus lateralis. Vastus lateralis, if we trace upwards, it will pass along the lateral margin of the gluteal tuberosity, then along the base of the greater trochanter, and to the lower part of the to the upper part of the intertrochanteric line. So this is the attachment of the linea aspera. Now come to the surface. The anterior surface and lateral surface. This is the lateral surface, anterior surface and lateral surface. Upper 3/4 of the anterior and lateral surface gives attachment to vastus intermedius, and medial surface it lies only covered by the vastus medialis. Vastus medialis is not attached to the surface. This surface is only covered by the vastus medialis. So these are the muscular attachments of the shaft. Now come to the lower end. The supracondylar line, lateral supracondylar line, I have already told you. At its lower margin, above the attachment of the lateral head of the gastrocnemius lies the plantaris, and on the medial supracondylar line, just above the adductor tubercle, this is the popliteal surface. This popliteal surface gives origin to medial head of the gastrocnemius. Now